Good evening, everyone. Hello, my name is Carla Italiano, and I am so excited and honored and privileged to be with you here tonight as part of Hilari's ongoing training, our exceptional leader. She asked me to share with you what we are doing as a team in the product page. And I'm so excited actually to share a couple of things that are so powerful right now in social media. A little background on me, I've been in isogenics actually for 10 years, loving these products. I've been building a business for 4 years. And as Hilari suggested and implied in the introduction in the Facebook page, over the last 2 years, 24 months, she said, she's watched our team grow. She's watched things change. And one of the things that has helped our team so much is the implementation of the product page, which I'm going to share with you tonight. The other thing that's really big in social media right now is Facebook Live. And I've had the privilege of attending several generic network marketing events, and across the profession, this is the thing that's working now in social media. Facebook is still it, but Facebook Live is it. I mean, how many people are using social media, especially Facebook, and you're noticing your regular posts are just not getting seen like they used to? Is anyone in that situation? I see some nods. Yes. Is anyone using the product page, Real People, Real Results, or perhaps another one? And maybe you're adding people in and not getting the results that you want. Is anyone feeling like that? Maybe. Okay, good. So my goal tonight is to empower you to have a bigger reach through your Facebook, through your social media live, and feel comfortable and confident doing that with 10 tips that'll help you, and 4 skills that you can use within your product page to help create the results that you want. Now, before I dive into that, if it's okay with you, I know what you all are thinking, because this is the question I get most of the time. Carla, 10 years, and for the first 6 you weren't building a business, and then all of a sudden, wow, you started building. Like, what in the world changed? Is anyone thinking that? Would it be all right? I would tell you just a little bit of my story. Some of you know it already, but I'd love to share with you a little bit of that. Because actually, when I was first introduced to isogenics, I was involved with another company. And if you know the company that Hilari's a part of, it's that same one. And I loved it. I love the profession. I love the people. I love the opportunity. I fell in love with the whole thing. And I was very committed to them, but honestly, I was struggling to make a real income. And even though I was committed, I just couldn't make it happen. And so when isogenics came into my life, I was open to the products, but I was burned out. Like, I didn't know what else to do. My story was that I wasn't good. I could study and get good grades and do things on my own, but when it came to getting other people to do things, that just wasn't my thing. So my story was this was going to be the same, and I wasn't going to try. So I tried the products. I love the products. I lost weight, maintained it, love the energy. I love the freedom from not having to stress about what I was eating and exercising all the time. During using the products, I had 2 pregnancies, 3 beautiful girls. Yes, twins. They're now 6 and 6 and 8, and it's been just a fun ride. But what switched for me was finally my why became bigger than my story. Usually what holds us back, if anything is holding you back right now, is simply that your story is bigger than your why. My story that I wasn't good at this, that it would be the same, that I didn't want to make people feel weird and run away from me. I didn't want to put myself out there. My story that I couldn't get people to do things, that I couldn't influence them. That story still existed. It didn't go away. I want you to hear that. But all that changed is that my why got bigger. Because those 3 girls were now entering school, in the private school that we loved. And what does private school usually mean? Money. And I had left a corporate job as an engineer years ago to pursue that other business, which didn't go well. So we're living off of my husband's income, which was a great income. It still is a great income. He's still working. However, we knew that his income was not going to grow as much, as fast as the tuition expense for the school that we wanted for our girls. So I knew from the past, as heartbreaking as it was, as experience was, that this was a vehicle that I could use to create choices. I was tired of feeling stuck, of compromising what we could do as a family, more choices, and more freedom. And so all of a sudden, I still was scared. I still didn't want to creep people out, but all of a sudden my why got bigger than the fear. My why got bigger than the fear. So I actually flew from here in Savannah, Georgia to Kansas City because I heard that my upline, Hilari, somewhere up there was doing an event. It was a UIA with David Wood. And so I flew up, and there I sat in the audience. I soaked everything up, and I took notes. And David Wood talked about breaking through the comfort zone, and Hilari talked about making a list in a red spiral notebook. And she called her list, and she made 100 names in 30 days. And I think she hit executive in the same amount of time. So I thought, that's what I'm going to do. I was so hungry. I got literally a red spiral notebook, wrote down my names, started calling them. Like, I'm going to go executive in 30 days too. Maybe she did it even faster than that. I don't know. She can correct me next week, her actual timer, but it was fast. Want to know about my start? Of the first 30 people I reached, they all said no, except for one. And that one sent her products back. That was my start. And that intention to go executive in 30 days, it took me a year to get to manager. All in. Am I giving anyone some hope? Like, are you feeling stuck? You're like, oh my gosh, if that was your start, I can do this too. It was hard. It was hard. It made more sense to quit than to keep going. It made more sense just to give it up, to go back into my fears. It didn't make sense to keep going, except I had decided that my why was bigger than my fear, so I was going to figure it out. So those challenges weren't my excuse. Those challenges didn't become my story, which I see it happen for a lot of people. You know, if you would walk into the airport and this really happened and approach somebody and talk about what you did, I asked them, you know, what do you do for a living? I'm this businessman. He asked me, what do you do for a living? And I said, I help people get physically fit and financially free. It was so awkward. It was horrible. It was so bad that this guy actually stood up, walked away, sat in a different chair. That was my beginning. And if I didn't have a why bigger than my fear, that would have been my reason to stop. That's a big reason to stop and to come to the conclusion that this was not for me. But I decided that I wanted to grow into the person who could have a conversation and let it feel okay. I decided this wasn't evidence that I couldn't do it. This was evidence that I needed to grow into the person who could. I knew that if I would continue to grow, and I grew into the posture and the confidence of Hilari Courtney and the presence of Susan Sly and the speaking ability of Lisa DeMeo, and just grew into the best version of myself, then I could do this. So I got on this mission to break through my fears and keep going anyway. Now, in the process, I became a sponge. I studied all the leaders. I studied what they're doing on Facebook. I was willing to do anything. If they said to cold call, I was going to cold call, and I've done that, and it is not fun, and I still don't like it, but I'm better at it than I used to be, and I'm willing to do it if that's what it takes, right? So with that approach, I hope to share with you things that you can use. Even if the things we talk about are a little bit uncomfortable, I'm sharing with you the things that work, not just because I've seen them work myself, but because that's what I'm learning from the industry. And here's an example. Hilari referenced last 24 months. So just over 2 years ago, I was a 1-star Crystal executive. 2 weeks after implementing the strategy and the product page that I'm going to share with you, I hit 2-star. Within that same year, I hit 3-star. And just a few months ago, I hit 4-star. We're still using the same system. This is really working. It's still working. That's why I'm sharing it with you. And so I encourage you to use it. So before we get into the 4 skills of the product page, a few things to remember. First of all, just to create a foundation, when I say the product page, what I'm referring to is Real People, Real Results, EHP, which stands for Extremely Happy People. By the way, shout out to Nicole Fiorella, who I saw on here earlier, for really spearheading that and getting it going and filling it with people. That is open to everyone in Hilari's team. Some of you might be a part of other large teams within Hilari's team. You have your own product page. What I'm referring to is whatever page, Facebook group that you use where you can post about products. There you are, Nicole. Hi. And put interested people in there to learn more. You put guests in there. When I say product page, that's what I'm referring to, okay? Now keep in mind that the product page is a tool. It does not do the whole job for you. You can't just put people in there and step back and expect it to do the work. It is a tool, just like a webinar is a tool, or an iSamovie is a tool, or an event is a tool, or a three-way call is a tool, right? It's just a tool that is intended to be a layer. It doesn't do the work for you. So keep that in mind. However, it is, I would say, one of, if not the most powerful tools that we have right now. So as a tool, keep in mind, as a professional network marketer, as professional network marketers, the skills are the same. Right? What are the skills that we need to master? Finding people, inviting them to take a look, presenting, following up, getting them started, duplicating, getting people to events, right? Just right now, the platform that we do that on that's working the best across the profession is Facebook, and using product groups is one of those ways. So let's dive into those 4 areas of skills that I mentioned of implementing your product page. First of all is adding people. Adding people, it sounds simple, but it's important to qualify your people first. I recently to a couple people, and I haven't seen them, probably listening, amazing, hardworking couple, and they came to me a little bit frustrated because they said, we're adding all these people, and Carla, we see you adding all these people to the page, and you're actually enrolling people. We're adding all these people to the page, but we're not enrolling that many people. And as we got to talking, what we found out, what we discovered, is that they were not qualifying their people first, which meant that they might be meeting people out and about at a networking group or on the street, and just in casual conversation, this person would bring up the question, what is it that you do? They say, we can show you by adding you into this page. Instead of, what I prefer to do and what I'd recommend is to qualify them, to find not only that they're just curious and making casual conversation, but they actually have an interest. They have a health goal. They have a financial goal. They have a desire to learn more. You've asked the questions. That's what qualifying them means. So, for, in their situation, what I would prefer to do is when I meet somebody, and this happened, like I just got back from a trip to Phoenix. I went to the Influencer Summit with Eric Worre. Jim and Kathy invested in that for us. Amazing event. But I sat on the plane, and so my goal in connecting with these people was to become Facebook friends, just Facebook friends. I didn't add them to any group, just Facebook friends. And then over time, we'll continue our relationship in private message. And at some point, either they're going to ask me more about what I do, one of them already has, or I'm going to ask them, hey, would you like to know more about what I'm doing? And if they say yes, and I identify a need, then they're qualified, then I'm going to add them to the group. Okay, very, very important step. Otherwise, you will get frustrated that nothing is happening. When you add them, here's the posture that you can take. So I'm going to add you to this page because it is the best way to get you the information you're looking for. Right? If they're qualified, they're looking for information. They've asked a question. They have a need. They want to learn more. The best way, and I truly believe this, and so have this posture, I believe the best way for you to learn is to put you into this product group. And so I will put them in to the product group. If you want to add the language and you can remove yourself at any time, you can add that language if that feels too good. That's an assumption. Add them to a group. I'm giving them a reason why I'm adding them in. Laura Stevens is brilliant, and she shared at this event over the weekend that she actually does add that language. I'm going to add you to this group. She takes that same posture. She doesn't ask first. She's like, you've asked the question. This is the best way. I'm adding you in. If you want to come out, you can remove yourself anytime. So whatever feels good for you, use that language. Okay. And then after you add them, make a welcome post just for them and tag them in it. Say something exciting, maybe how you know each other, edify what they do, what are they looking for, what are their needs, are they a nursing mom, something that might connect with people in the group, and then watch as people in the group welcome them. They get so much positive feedback. I mean, everyone feels so welcome in there. And if you put a post and nobody is naturally commenting to welcome, maybe grab a group of friends and say, hey, I just welcomed somebody in the group. So would you mind to welcome them? Like, say welcome in there. What that also gives you the opportunity to do is to share with your new prospect, your new friend, specific things in the comments of the welcome post. So if you want them to see Transform Your Life, which is one of my favorite videos to use, I will take a link and I'll paste it as a comment below their welcome post. Right? Or if they're an athlete, I'll take a Team Isogenics video, or Mary Evans Just Cleanse is another great one. Whatever one relates to their story, put it in. That also gives you a great opportunity to come back and follow up. Say that you see another video that reminds you of them, or you just want to follow up, come back in the next day or two, which we're also doing stuff in the background, which I'll get to in a second. But you can add another video a day or two later or a month later, and it's going to bring them back to the product page that they see your information, okay? A couple tips just that I found to be helpful. When you add a link, use a link from YouTube, because when they click on it, it'll keep them in the page and not take them out of the page. You want them to stay in Facebook, right? So go to the Isagenix International channel on YouTube and find one of their videos and copy and paste the link. The second tip I want to share, make a list of your own, of the people that you're adding. Just in a notebook, like I have a spiral notebook where I keep everything. Make a list of people, because it's so hard to search anymore with the algorithms in Facebook. If you just search for your name and welcome, like I used to do, it's hard to find your people. And so if you have a list, that makes it easier to follow up, and that also makes it fun to track. So for example, I can go back and look at my list and my circles, and I estimate that about 1 in every 4 people that I add to the page will join my team on average, which helps to know your numbers going forward, right? So if I know I want to enroll 10 people this month, well, I need to find about 40 people to add to the product page. Now, likely my 10 aren't going to come directly from those 40, but that activity is going to generate that kind of an outcome, okay? That's the first step, adding people. Second, to build value in the page. As a leader, which I assume that's why you're here on this call, is because you're a leader, it's important not only to add people, but to contribute to the posts. Because otherwise it's really heavy in welcome posts, and that's no fun for the guests. So it's up to us as leaders to keep that populated with information. Whenever I add somebody and I make a welcome post, I make a point to add at least 2 or 3 additional content posts throughout the day. Also, another easy way to do it is to go to other people's content posts and comment on them. It'll bring it up to the top of the page if you go there and you're finding it heavy on welcome posts, okay? Some easy ways, you can go to one of the ISA testimonials page, find a post, a before and after picture that somebody's given permission to share, and share it in the group. Another easy thing, go to isagenixhealth.net and find an article that's of interest, share that link in your page, and maybe copy and paste 1 or 2 sentences from the article as the beginning of your post. Simple, informative, especially if it relates to some people that you've added to the page recently. Okay. Also, you personally using the products throughout your day. Post your shake that you're drinking, or your amped workout, or you're loving an e-shot, or, I have a lot when I'm on the plane, because people always ask, what about when I travel? I say it's a perfect travel food. So I always show that in the product page. This is like your storefront. And the more that you post, the more that your prospects are going to see it. And so 2 important points with that. One is that it's such a great one team community. The culture in there truly resonates, the one team culture that our entire company has of one team. So just be aware of that and have comfort in that, but help us guard and protect that. I love seeing when somebody, a guest in that page, is ready and they say, I'm ready, how do I get started? How much does it cost? Then somebody is quick to say, get back with the person who added you. And a lot of times people go the extra step to actually look up who that person is who added them and tag them. It's an amazing culture. So just enjoy that and help us to protect that and keep that going. The other thing is that's really going to make this effective for you that most people fall away from is you must stay consistent. This isn't add a person, add a couple posts, and then check out for a week. The way that you will make this the most effective tool for you is if you are posting in the page daily. Even if you aren't adding new people daily, at least once a day, if not 2, 3, 4 times a day, be adding content. And one reason is because if your guests in that page are not Facebook friends with anyone else in the group, there's nothing that's going to bring them back into the page. But if you post a valuable content, something of value in the page, your guests are going to receive a notification. And in the very least, it'll at least trigger, they'll remember they're in there, even if they don't go look at it. But what happens again and again, and we hear this in our team, like I was in the group and then, you know, so-and-so Tasha posted something and it brought me back into the page. And then I saw a story and then I saw this information and then I saw this and then I saw this, and they kind of get drawn in and then they're ready to start. So it's very important to consistently every day, post at least one valuable post into the group. Okay, so we have 1, adding people, 2, adding value, 3 is following up. As I said earlier, this is a tool. Most of the work and the results you're gonna find are actually done behind the scenes. You can sit in that page and see what I'm doing and see what our team is doing, see what a lot of people are doing in there, but understand that a lot of the work is behind the scenes. Your follow-up needs to be in private message. As you're adding people to the group, you've already asked them privately in text or on message, you know, what are your goals? So then after they've been in there for a while, check back with them. Are you finding information that's helping to answer questions? Is there anything I can help clarify for you? Are you ready to get started? Don't be afraid to ask the questions. And that's the best way to follow up, is to always ask questions. And one way that I always coach my team on, anytime you're interacting with somebody, if you have a question, always end with the question. Always end with the question anytime. That's a tip for any sort of communication, not just on the product page. Always end with the question, because if you ask the question first and then you explain it, by the time they finish reading, there's not a question mark at the end. They're going to ignore it. They're confused. End with a question, and then they'll be more likely to respond, and it won't be a dead end for you. Okay? And finally, number 4, skill in the product page is duplication. That's the beautiful thing about this tool, is that everyone's watching anyway. Duplication makes sense. When you add guests to the page and then they decide to start Isogenics, and then they have a friend who wants to learn more, and you say, great, add them to the product page, they know exactly what you're talking about, and they'll naturally do it. And the whole team will naturally fall in. You know, the great thing about us as leaders posting a lot is that when we have a team member who is not interested in growing the business, but has a referral, they can just put somebody in there and maybe make a welcome post and not put anything else. We're gonna make up the difference with that, because we have that culture. And then people who do wanna grow the business, they're seeing what we're doing and they're just gonna copy it and continue to grow. This is such a simple system that it just naturally grows and it works. And I can tell you from experience, you know, earlier, I'm queen of consistency. My team will tell you I am consistent every day. So for 3.5 years, every day, holidays, surgery day, dance recital day, like every day something, not constantly, but consistently, like Hilari teaches. And as many of you know, earlier this year we had a challenging health situation in our family where I got to choose. No, this was not my excuse. This is never my reason. It's to stop working, but my choice to step aside and not work the business for 2 months so I could focus on my daughter. This system kept rolling. This doesn't need me to be in there. Like, they're running it. Like, our team is just going, and all of you who are in there, you know, it just runs. That's the beauty of a simple system. If you have simple systems in this business, that's a leveraged income. It'll keep growing, keep going, even when you can't, even when you won't, okay? Simple system. So duplicate. Another fun thing that duplicates in that page are the videos especially. This wasn't intended to become what it has, but it's beautiful that it has. Many of you who might not know me, but you might recognize my face. Back in January, I made a video in the page of frequently asked questions that includes the pricing of the packs. And basically there's so many questions. I just made this live video on the spur of the moment to answer questions and go through the product packs. And what started to happen was that people on my team were tagging their guests in it so that they could watch the video. And then their team saw them doing that and they started doing the same thing. And now I think it's up to like 14,000 views. Now I started doing the same thing. Hi, Carrie. And now I started doing the same thing. And when I have somebody interested, I'll often use my own video as one of them that I put in their welcome post. And it happened the other day. I had somebody reach out and said, hey, I've been following you for a while. I want to know about that nutrition stuff. I said, great. I'm going to put you in the product page because it's the best way to find out, and share a couple of videos. And I put it in there. He said, great, I watched it. I want the premium pack. How do I get started? Done, easy. Like, it makes everything so simple. So if you want a simple way to go through the product pack information, that FAQ video is in there. And you can be mindful of that as you're creating your own videos and content. I have a live unboxing of an Ultimate pack. And when I created that, it was the intention that I would use it in the future if somebody ordered that one and I could show them what's in it. So you can create posts like that that you can continue to use. Okay? So product page. We're adding people, building value, following up, and duplicating. All of the mindset that this is a tool like everything else. So simple. But I promise if you do this consistently, it will pay off. And it's not just an Isagenix. This is being used across the profession. I keep hearing it from the stage again and again that these product groups are the ways that people are building. The top income earners in network marketing from various companies are using these product pages. So keep doing that. Now, a little bit of a switch shift. Now we're going to switch to Facebook Live. So Facebook Live is the thing. Many of us have used it in the product page like I was just referring to, but truly, like at the beginning of the call, I asked you who's been posting their regular posts and pictures and hashtags, but you feel like it's getting less visibility than before. I sure have. And the reason is because when Facebook wants to dominate video. So if you do video, it's going to get more looks. If you upload a recorded video, that's better than a post, but ideally it's Facebook Live. If you do Facebook Live on a regular basis, Facebook is going to show your stuff. It's going to show people who you are. And the benefit is it gets around that algorithm because they want you to use it. Anytime Facebook comes out with a new feature, if you use it, it'll get there and it'll get out there. And it lets people see the real you, which is just another way that it's good for our business because people buy from people that they can relate to, and this is a way for them to see it. So by getting around the algorithm, you're going to create a place where you are visible and people can come and find you. And I know some people, for me personally, and for probably many of you as leaders, this is great, this is fun, like let's do Facebook Live, it's just like a Zoom, it's fun. Other people, and I know from working with my team, are intimidated by the idea and it feels so scary. But let me tell you, like anything else in this business, like me not wanting to approach a stranger, me not wanting to do cold calls, me scared to post some things on Facebook, because I've sure posted things on the beginning just kind of out there and I wanted to hide under the book. Like I've had those feelings just like that. If you just start, it gets easier. And this is one of those skills that if you're going to be a leader in network marketing is something that is working right now that's so powerful to do. And one thing that I've realized through all these skills that are hard in the beginning is that just by taking the action, you will feel empowered. You'll be empowered by just doing it, regardless of the results. I mean, one thing that's been bigger for me coming off of this influencer summit is looking for influencers. So I'm putting people on my list and reaching out to people who have achieved things in their life. So with stories in my head, that is out of my comfort zone. So I have 2 people on my list and it takes me an hour to reach out to them. It's crazy. I know, like I still have that, but that was me this morning. But I'll tell you what, I did it. I reached out in sincere, open way to these people that I highly respected. And guess what? I haven't heard back from them. It doesn't matter. But as soon as I sent it, I was kind of like, oh, what did I just do? But then I came out and I turned on the music and I am dancing. I was getting ready to work out, but it didn't turn out into a workout. It turned out into a dance. Because in that moment, I had done the thing that I wanted to do. And that's what you're after, because if you can get that sense of empowerment from taking the action regardless of the result, then you can do it again regardless of the result. And you can do it again regardless of the result, because you can't always control the result, but you can control how many times you do it. And if this is the step that will bring the success for you and draw it closer, you need to do it again and again and again. So don't worry about how many people are watching your Facebook Live. Don't worry if you're getting comments or not. Don't worry if you mess up. If you totally flop, you can just erase it from your page. Like, don't worry about the results. Just do it, even if it's scary the first time, but then feel that empowerment when you're done. Like you did it, and do something to celebrate, and know that the next time it'll get easier and easier and better and better. All right, as promised, I have 10 tips to help you make it easier. And these will be really quick. And if I have 45 minutes total, so if I have time, we'll open up for questions. And I see some questions coming in there, so I'll read them at the end. But here are 10 tips to help you have the most effective Facebook Lives, okay? One is to have a catchy title. Share what you're going to present. One thing that I put on a recent one that did pretty well was storefront versus pyramid scheme. If someone sees pyramid scheme in the title, how likely do you think they are to watch it? That's kind of a controversial thing. It was actually about how pyramid schemes that are illegal. It got a lot of shares and views, so that was good. Using the word millionaire, I had another one live from the Influencer Summit where I had tips from millionaires, so that attracts attention. Another one I did from the grocery store. I did a live from the grocery store. I said one thing I would not recommend and one thing I would. And the one thing I would not recommend was shopping for food on a cleanse day. I was cleansing that day. So you can have fun with it and make a title that creates curiosity. It maybe could even sound controversial even if it's not, but something that's catchy that'll grab people's attention. Okay, that's number one. Two is to speak on something you know. Don't feel like you have to do isogenics. If you're not a nutrition expert, don't pretend to be a nutrition expert. But you like Christy's on here. She plays the oboe. She's an oboe ones that are amazing. She's exceptional at the oboe. Like if you're musical, if it's animals, if it's exercise, something that you enjoy. It doesn't have to be related to isogenics, just to show you. That's the point. Third, when you start, address the replay audience, because most of your views are not going to come from the live. They're going to come from the replay, and that's okay. But that means when somebody clicks play, then you want to address them. Say, hi, thanks for watching the replay. If you're watching the replay, drop me a number 1 in the comments so I know that you're here, right? And then people will start to come on live, but most of your views are going to be from the replay. So say something early and share the topic early. You have about 30 seconds to catch them before they're going to switch to something else. So I know some people get on and say, I'm going to wait for people to come on. If you do that, you're not going to get any replay viewers. They're going to check out, so you want to capture them fast. Okay. Next is to be prepared. Know what you're going to say in general. And I like to even say, I'm going to share 3 tips for this, or 4 tips for this, or 2 questions that were asked today. Or if I'm at a place, I'm going to share this story, and then I'm going to go over here and find my friends. That way the people who are watching know that there's a plan and a place that you're going. If they don't feel like there's a place that you're going, then they're kind of going to wonder if the excitement's over or what's going on. So, I like to say, what is the value that you're going to provide and what's your intention for the video, and then follow that. Be somewhat prepared. Next is really important, ask for interaction. Just like my example, drop a 1 in the comments. You can say, if you agree, put an emoji in the comments, or show me some hearts, or put a hashtag. Ask for interaction, because this is similar to the way we used to request comments on our regular Facebook posts, and then our friends would see them because it was in their news feed, which doesn't happen anymore. Well, it does happen with these live stream. Like sometime the other day I was watching a live stream of Del Rey, who's a top earner in our company, and I'm a good friend of hers, and I commented, and then right after that I noticed there are a couple people on my team who also saw the video, and it was likely because I commented that they saw. So the algorithms that we know and love from the past on our regular posts are alive and well. They're just working on the Facebook Live. Okay, so that's how you're going to grow your network, is through asking for interaction. As people comment, acknowledge them by name. It's fun and they like it, and it'll keep them watching. After you're finished the video, go back and reply to the comments. Just take a few minutes and reply, because that also will boost it in the algorithm. And be consistent. This is something that I've really been more intentional about. I knew Facebook Live was a good thing to do, so I do it when I thought I had a good idea and occasionally. But now I've ramped it up. I focus on trying to get at least 2 a week. I'd like to do more. That's my focus right now. So pick what's consistent for you. Maybe it's once a day. Maybe it's once a week, once a month, whatever yours is, but be consistent with it, because this is really the key to attraction marketing. In my team, I coach 2 ways. Attraction marketing is great, but we don't wait for people to come in. We consider those gifts. At the same time, we're reaching out to people. It's kind of a 2-pronged approach. But for that attraction side, it's important to create this presence where people can find you and know what you're about. And that's what the Facebook Live will do. And you know, as far as the other posts, even though they're not being seen in the newsfeed as usual, go ahead and put them, because when I post other things, I consider that the platform that people are going to see when they first discover me through my live, and they get curious, they come to my page, then they're going to see the before and after pictures, and they're going to see the lifestyle photos. So it's not all in vain, even if people are not seeing your other posts in the newsfeed. Okay, 2 more. Post value. Post value and just valuable content regularly. You know, it's fun. Sometimes it's just fun to show what you're doing during the day, but try to be intentional about the value that you're sharing. It can be something funny, you know, it can be something serious. It doesn't really matter the content, but let it be a value to the people that you have in mind that you want to target as your ideal audience. Okay. And then finally, as you're doing it, the sweet spot from what I've heard and experienced seems to be around 15 minutes. So if you're uploading a video or pre-recorded video, 3 to 5 minutes is ideal to get a watch. If you're doing a Facebook Live, around 15 minutes is ideal, because that if it's too short, you won't get any interaction during the live. If it's too long, you won't get anybody on the replay. So this number could change, you know, but I'm coachable, and based on what people are experiencing, what I'm learning from the profession, it seems like 15 minutes is about the time. That is good. Okay, so we talked about product page and about Facebook Live. Is it okay if I give you a little assignment? Up for an assignment? Everyone's up for assignment? Okay, awesome. I see that. And then I'll get to your questions. So for the product page, what I challenge you to do is to go through and look through all of your active prospects, like people that you're actively talking to about Isagenix. And if they're not on the product page, add them, private message them and say, oh, I'm so excited for you to check out this private product group. It's the best way for you to get more information about the system we've been talking about. I'm going to welcome you in the page. And then do a welcome post. Now, if you have a list of people and you add them all at once, don't do the welcome post all at once. Right? I would pick maybe 1 or 2 and then content post, and then a couple hours later do some more, so you don't have all the welcome posts at once. Okay? And then just do the things we talked about. Do daily content. Be consistent with it. Just if you're not doing it already, just give it a try. Consistent posts every day and see how that works out for you. Okay? My next challenge is to do a Facebook Live this week. And then pick your consistency rate. Are you going to do it once a week? Are you going to do it once a day? And then do your best to stick to that. And if feel free to reach out to me if you want tips, if you want encouragement, or reach out to some friends and say, hey, I'm really nervous, but I'm going to go on Facebook Live right now. Can you please watch and comment so I have somebody there? Like, have some friends to support you, but just do something. It's really going to extend your reach and expand your reach as a professional marketer. Okay? And all of this is part of becoming your best self. Like I said in the beginning, the thing that held me back was just that my why wasn't bigger than my story. And then it became bigger, but then I still had this fear. But I knew that the way to overcome that was just to become the best version of myself. So if these things are uncomfortable for you, like, this is what's working. And so I would encourage you to dive in and do it. And then consider that part of your growth is going to bring you to the place. And, you know, I can't wait to see your Facebook Lives. I can't wait to see more in the product page and see that most confident version of yourself show up. All right. Let me get to your questions over here. Oh, I love this, you guys. Thanks. Our team does not have a product page. Are you in Hilari Courtney's team? Because, I assume if you're on this call, you're on Hilary's team, look for Real People, Real Results, EHP. And that is our product page that's open to all of Hilari Courtney's group. Awesome. Hey, Erin. Okay, you want one video. I didn't catch which video I was referencing. Is it the FAQ video? Private message me on Facebook. She's asking if there's a chance that we could view that video. If it's the FAQ video, it's actually, if that's the one it is, I did upload it to YouTube. If you search my name, Carla Italiano, frequently asked questions about Isagenix, it'll pop up. So it's there. It's a Facebook Live from our group that I transferred over there. Okay. Biggs, how long should the uploaded video be versus live? Okay, great. So 3 to 5. I addressed that 3 to 5 for pre-recorded and about 15 minutes for live. Restate, yes, I will restate all the Facebook Live tips real quick. I should have done that anyway. Okay, recap on the 10. if you didn't get them. 1, catchy title. 2, speak on something you know. 3, address the replay audience first and catch them early. 4, be prepared and state what you're going to provide. 5, ask for interaction. 6, acknowledge the people by name. 7, go back and reply to the comments. 8, be consistent to create attraction marketing. 9, provide value in content regularly. And 5th is the guidance on the time, so about 15 minutes is your sweet spot. Okay, your 10 tips for live. Do I have info from Eric Worre? Oh, he's asking me. Oh, Hilary's asking me that. I'll have to see what she means specifically. Thank you, Hilary. Do you announce that you're going live on your Facebook page like 30 minutes before? I have not done that, but I think that's a great deal, a great idea. And I have heard of people doing that. Say, hey, join me in 30 minutes. I'm gonna go live on such and such topic. I think that's a great way to grow your audience, especially after you've done a few. So to answer your question, no, I haven't, but I think that's a great idea and it does work. I know, yeah. Those of you who are nervous, just do it, just start. The hardest part is just starting. Okay, and I think I got everyone's questions, right? Anyone else want to type in a question real quick? Will you be posting this video on Facebook? This is being recorded as all of Hilary's trainings are, and it is on her website. All of them are posted there, which I don't remember exactly. Is it Justin and Hilary or Hilary and Justin Courtney.com? It'll be posted in our Facebook group along with all the other videos. Great. Great. Oh, I see. Okay. Yes, we'll get information. Awesome. Yeah, it's on the website, so it's available to everyone. Thank you, Hilary. Thank you, Hilary. Justin, you might be doing that instead, but justinandhilarycourtney.com is the website, and there's a page in there that has all of the recorded ones. All right. All right. Well, I'm Carla Italiano again. I appreciate you guys tuning in and giving me this opportunity to share with you tips that are working with us. And I can't wait to see all the results that are coming as we smash the rest of 2017 and just dive in 2018. It's a very exciting time to be in this profession, this industry, this company. Right now, if you do this while most of the world is sleeping and business-wise and you're at it, then you're going to see results, especially when January 1st hits, everyone's making resolutions. This is going to set you up for success. If you're doing this now, you're going to be the one that people think of when they're ready to make a change. So thank you guys for being such a great audience. I love seeing your faces. This is such a treat for me. And Hilary will be back to do this next week. Thank you guys.